Staying on one franchise is more than a test of loyalty. It can also showcase skill, because sometimes teams will trade you on the first second they get a chance to improve their roster, no matter how loyal you'd want to be. Thus, being an NBA lifer is a combination of wanting to stay loyal to a franchise and being so good that you're untradeable. So for this video, I'm going to name my top 10 NBA lifers. The only main rule is that the player has to be retired. Sure, it seems like Steph is going to be a Warrior lifer, but we can never be 100% sure. Maybe he could pull an Hakeem Olajuwon and spend one season in Toronto when he's 39. And with the holidays around the corner, Caesars is back with another great free jersey promo giveaway. This time, when you bet $100 at Caesars, you get a free NBA authentic jersey. Use code GAMEDAY at signup and opt in to get this special offer. Click the link down below for more details. At 10th place is Jerry West. The logo is a Laker lifer. He played for the Los Angeles Lakers from 1960 to 1974, making the All-Star team for every season during his 14-season career. In his highest scoring season, he put up over 31 points per game, and in his best assisting season, he put up 9.7 assists per game. Jerry ranks so low on this list for a few reasons. 1, there's just way too much competition going forward. 2, it is a little hard to compare his era to the modern NBA or the 90s. The three-point shot didn't exist yet, and also his finals record was a bumpy one to say the least. With a 1-8 record, Jerry West has one of the worst NBA Finals records of all time. At 9th place is John Stockton. John spent his 19-season NBA career playing only for the Utah Jazz from the years 1984 to 2003. John Stockton leads the league in both total steals and total assists. John has 15,806 total assists. He also has 3,265 total steals. And if need be, he was also a great scorer as well, as he put up over 17 points per game during his best scoring seasons. Plus, he is a 5-time All-Defensive player. Had he won a ring, I would have ranked him higher. Also, him losing in the finals twice does hurt his ranking, since you can make the argument that he wasn't even the best player on his team during those finals, and despite having MVP caliber talent on his roster, he still couldn't pull off winning it all. In 8th place is Bill Russell. During Bill's 13-season career, he spent them playing for the Boston Celtics from the years 1956 to 1969. Nice. During that span, he won himself 11 NBA rings, made 11 All-NBA teams, became a 12-time All-Star, 5 MVPs, 4 total rebound champs, and made an all-defensive team. Bill is one of the best defensive players on this list. Who knows how many blocks this guy actually got, because I didn't even count it back then, but I'm certain it's way higher than his insanely high ring total. In 7th place is Isaiah Thomas. Zeke spent all 13 of his seasons playing in Motor City. That's right, for the Detroit Pistons. Zeke played in one of the toughest eras of basketball and shined during said era, as he is a 2-time champ and a Finals MVP. He is one of the best dribblers and ball handlers the game has ever seen. His toughness and grit is one of the leading factors for the bad boy Pistons to be such a force on the court. His game has little flaws. While he is a bit undersized at 6'1", he makes that up for having a near unblockable jump shot with his high release. Thomas was a straight up winner and a team leader. Coming in 6th place is Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk had a 21-season career that lasted from the years 1998 to 2019. He spent every one of those seasons in the Lone Star State playing for the Dallas Mavericks. Dirk is a 14-time All-Star, 12-time All-NBA player, a Finals MVP, and a regular season MVP. Being able to win in a small market and with no other definitive All-Stars on your roster is truly impressive. Add that to the fact that he was facing a team that could have become a dynasty, that being the Big Three Miami Heat. The only thing keeping Dirk out of the top 5 is the insane competition going forward. At 5th place is Julius Erving. Picking Julius will have its detractors, since some people will count him playing in the ABA as devoting his career and healthy playing time to more than one franchise. But on the flip side, when he entered the NBA, his 11-season NBA career belonged only to the 76ers from the years 1976 to 1987. During that time, he was a 2-time MVP, an 11-time All-Star, and a champion. Dr. J's ABA history always makes it hard for him in all-time rankings, since those simply get written off for the comparison. Because of that, Dr. J will always remain one of the most underrated players in the game. Had he had a full NBA career, he would show up in a lot more GOAT debates, even though he still shows up in quite a few of them. Coming in 4th place is Magic Johnson. It's showtime. Irvin Johnson Jr. played 13 seasons with the Lakers from the years 1979 to 1991. I don't need to tell you why Magic is so great. You're probably wondering why there are 3 players ahead of him. Magic is the best point guard this game has ever seen, and probably the best passer of all time as well. There are few holes in his game. Firstly, the next 3 players are all better defenders than Magic, but that doesn't mean Magic was a bad defender. In fact, he was pretty good. Magic was agile and smart enough to play the passing lanes, and playing at 6'9" did offer him an advantage over smaller players. However, this meant that he was a selective player on defense, and depending on the matchup, Michael Cooper or Byron Scott would usually defend the guards or the more quicker players. Magic is the best passer on this list, but if we're talking about both ends of the court in terms of two-way abilities, the next 3 players I would argue have better two-way potential. Speaking of which, in 3rd place is the Mamba, Kobe Bryant. Kobe spent his 20-season career playing for the Los Angeles Lakers from the years 1996 to 2016. You definitely do not need me to tell you why Kobe is so amazing. I mainly have to tell you why I'm picking Kobe over Magic. While Magic is the better passer, Kobe is not a bad passer himself, even though it is kind of a meme to say that Kobe never passes, but that meme is just not true. Kobe is actually second all time for total shooting guard assists, with a total of 6,122 assists, and he's only second by a hair, as the guy in first place, Clyde Drexler, has 6,125. Kobe averaged 6 assists per game for many of his seasons during his prime. Kobe is the better scorer compared to Magic, and he's the better defender. Kobe is a 12-time all-defensive player, and he once averaged 35.4 points per game, and he didn't even win MVP in that season. Again, Magic is the better passer, but Kobe is the better ball handler, defender, scorer, and his prime lasted longer. You gotta give Kobe longevity points on this one. Rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. Coming in 2nd place is the big fundamental Tim Duncan. Duncan spent his 19-season career playing for the Spurs from the years 1997 to 2016. Once again, you don't need me to tell you why this man is great, but I do need to explain why I have him above both Magic and Kobe. Tim is the best defender on this list. Tim is giving you elite defense and elite offense, plus all the while at efficient rates. Tim is a 15-time all-defensive player and is one of the best defenders this game has ever seen. Tim has the highest PER out of all 3 of these guys. Duncan's PER overall is 24.2, Kobe's is 22.9, and Magic's is 24.1. A lot of people like to write Tim off as just a system player who did so well under Coach Pop's system, but you can't just throw any all-star power forward and expect miracles. For example, look how LaMarcus Aldridge was given the same formula and was under Tim's wing, and he was an all-star caliber talent who had the same quote-unquote system but failed to hold down the fort the same way Tim did. The hardest point against Tim would be the apples to oranges factor. It is quite difficult to compare 2 guards to a power forward. Tim simply cannot play defense the way Kobe can or Magic can, and vice versa. And that's not a point for or against either player, it's just simply to say that if you have one of these 3 swapped, there's no right or wrong answer here. And last but not least is 1st place, and in 1st, we got Larry legend Larry Bird. Bird spent his 13-season career playing for the Boston Celtics from the years 1979 to 1992. For the final time, you do not need me to tell you why this man is so great at the game. It's my job to give you reasons why I have him above Kobe, Tim, and Magic Johnson. Both Larry and Kobe can give you 28 points a night, but Larry can do that more efficiently while also giving you more assists and way more rebounds, plus still play great defense. Even as a front court player, Larry was averaging over 7 assists per game for many seasons, and while you could make the argument that Kobe is the better offensive player and mention the fact that their defensive capabilities are quite close, but Larry is far more efficient both from downtown at the 3-point line, in the inside, and while posting up. Magic did have Larry's number when they faced off, but he also had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. For example, the Warriors beating the Cavs isn't a good argument for why Steph is better than LeBron. Kobe and Tim do have longevity on their side, but Larry was nearly a triple-double machine, giving you a little over 10 rebounds, around 7 assists, and over 24 points a night. Larry is the most complete player on this list. There are a lot of specialty players who are great at doing certain things or certain roles, but Bird is the best Swiss Army knife. Larry was a defender, a rebounder, a playmaker, and a scorer. So here are my top 10 NBA lifers. There were some great players who didn't even make the cut, like David Robinson, Reggie Miller, Emmanuel Ginobili, John Havlicek, Elgin Baylor, and Brad Daugherty. So let me know what you think of this list and what type of videos you want to see next. Don't forget to dunk on that like button and subscribe with notifications turned on. I'm Rebound Rewind, and I'll fast forward to you later.